Um, then, oh yes, we were going back to church, and the Reverend Denning, did you know
Oh,
him?
the Reverend Denning, yes, he was a
He was
character. I
another
wrote a lot about him in there, about his bicycle, because he was a little tubby man, and he had a very high bicycle with 2 crossbars, which my son remembers well. He said, I can remember, Mother, you showing me Mr. Denning and his bicycle, because it was so amusing to see him get on. He had to lean over there and catch the handles, put his foot on the spoke coming out from the back wheel, give it a push and a leap. And he was away. And he was a great cricketer, and he had 2 sons who were also extremely good cricketers. So the Hungerford cricket team, with Dr. Starkey Smith, who was also a good cricketer, and a Mr. New from Chiltern Foliot, I think he was the agent of Littleton, excellent cricketers, so they had very good matches.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a lovely cricket ground up on, I don't know what it is now, recreation ground. It's all of what we call the New Common in our days, because it was...
The one that sort of butts onto Bullpit Lane.
That's right.
Yes.
That's it.
Well, that was made into a memorial ground, wasn't it? After
That's
the
right,
second.
and that's where the swimming pool is, isn't
Yes.
it? Yeah.
Yes.
That's all after my time.
Mm. That was a memorial to the Second World War.
Yes.
And was made in the early 50s, I think.
I think, yes, it was. My son had a lot to do with that, the planning of it.
Yes. Yes, Jack Williams was telling me all about
Yes,
that.
yes.
And I was up there the other day.
But that's where the old cricket ground was, and they had a nice wooden pavilion, which of course is long gone.
Yes.
And the daughter, Irene Denning, they were all cricket mad. She did all the scoring.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think, at one time, yes, after the war, the cricket pavilion was first of all made from packing cases, or a crate rather, that was used for delivering gliders in the Second World War.
Was it?
So Jack Williams.
Yes. Well, he would know all that.
Yes.
No asking me really about that period,
No.
because I was...
Because you were away.
Well, I was at Newbury and kind of entered into the Newbury life.
Of course.
I came down home a lot, but I didn't enter into the Hungerford
No,
life anymore.
naturally. And then we talked about the vicars, and what about the doctors?
Yes, well, now you get that so well in that thing of my son's. If you like to take, you could take. He wrote a whole... He gave a historical lecture on it.
Ah.
No. I think you'll...
Oh, I think I've seen that.
Have you, yes?
It's in the History Archives.
Oh, I expected it. He gave it at the Historical
That's right.
Society
Yes,
meeting.
I read that, and I read, and he said a lot about the shops in it too.
Oh,
and
did he?
various
Yes.
tradespeople.
Well, he got most of the... I don't know if he got the shops from me, but he got all about the old doctors from me. Because I remember old Dr. Major, old Dr. Barker, who rode in a high dog cart to see his patients. I forget what Dr. Major went in. I think he rode on horseback.
Yes. And what period was that?
That was when I was born, period, the last decade of this century.
Right
that
at the beginning of this century.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's so quaint how the manners have changed, because on July the 3rd, early in the morning, Dr. Major's walking to his home. You know, he lived in that lovely great big Georgian house that now is Bradley's, the accountants. Had then, of course, a lovely garden, and Fairview Road hadn't been developed at all, so they went up to Fields. And someone met him and said, "Oh, you're up early today, Dr. Major." And he said, "I'm not up early. I've been up all night bringing Miss Astley into the world." Miss Astley. It's a forgotten world, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Nobody uses surnames
No,
now, do they?
no.
Very difficult. You know, Dr. Starkey Smith,
Yes.
you know, he attended Lytton Strachey in his last
Yes,
illness.
oh, I do remember that, because we were very, very close to them and his wife, and he used to tell us about him, and he was at Amsbury House.
Amsbury. I am going to give a talk to the Historical Association on the Stracheys, yes.
Oh, I must be sure not to miss it. When is it, I wonder?
Next February.
Next February.
Well, I became interested because I found out that, you know, they were connected with Hamspray.
Yes.
And I mentioned this to the chairman of the, Lois Peelans, who was then chairman of the
Yes.
Historical. She didn't know what I was talking about. The younger
No,
generation,
don't know about the
they don't know
strangers,
about
no.
the Bloom's Crusade,
No,
you know.
no.
It's amazing.
I once read a very nice book written by some woman about her friendship with that family, and she mentions the lovely home at Hansbury House in which you looked out across, she called the Downs, we called Coombe Hills.
Yes, yes.
I forget the book, but you know, one wishes you could buy all the books that you're interested in
Mm.
keeping.
Now, have you got any other
Well,
little
Doc-
anecdotes to tell us?
Oh, I don't think I have. It's very difficult to think of. I think I've thought of them all in my book I've written for the family. They're only such personal ones that I don't think they would be very interesting. And now again, of course, now I can't see them. No, I don't think so. I have to get my daughter to delve into these. But they're all really about our gardeners and our staff and the things that happened in the house. You know, I don't think they would be interesting for everyone.
Well, if they illustrate a different way of life,
Life,
they would
yes.
be.
Well,
Yes.
it is impossible for you to go through because they'll fill the whole book. But I'll get my daughter to look through them. So saddening how my eyes have gone this summer.
Isn't it?
No, still I'm 92. Do you expect?
Well, you're wonderful in every other way.
Yes, I wish I had my sight though, because I'm
Yes.
so fond of all this kind of work.
Yes. Right, well now let's